talk to your old self, your young self, your 14-year-old self.
Ooh.
What advice, knowing where you want to be in life and what you've experienced, what advice would you give yourself navigating middle school, high school, and college?
My young self, I say fines. Um, I would say don't be afraid to be a student, um, and learn how the game works. You know, and that's important. Like you got to learn how things work because um, in order to, I mean, I don't consider myself a follower. I consider myself a leader, but in order to lead, you got to learn how to follow, and you got to learn how things work. And my young self was definitely I was always an ambitious kid, but I wanted things when I wanted it. You know, I didn't have the patience to say I need to learn a lot more before I can even accept the responsibility or whatever it is that I wanted. So you have to learn how things work in everything that you do. Either if you want to change something, if you want to do your own, in which I always wanted to do my own, but you still have to learn how to play the game before you can make the rules to the game. You know, in order to create the flow and not necessarily go with the flow, you got to learn how the flow works, right? So it's just continue to be a student, be a student. You don't have to rush into things, and learn how it works. You know, just learn how the game is played, learn how to move in the game, and then once you get it, you know, it's like it's a chess game. So once you learn how it works, man, you make your moves. And one thing I would also tell myself is that everybody don't have to know what that plan is. You know, because one thing that I learned is once people find out what your plan is, that's how they use that against you, right? Because now they know how to attack you. You know, because I know what he wants to do. And that can come from anywhere. You never know where it's gonna come from, you know. So it's like it's be patient, learn the rules of the game, and you know, and move silently. It's okay, and that's okay. You know, not everybody needs to make a lot of noise when they get to where they need to go.
Would you tell young Fonz to aim to be the valedictorian? Because this Fonz knows young Fonz could have been a valedictorian if he wanted to be. Would you tell him that's a worthwhile endeavor?
I would say yes because that's how the game is played. Especially at that age, 14 years old, it's all about, and this is my issue with the school system, right? It's all about labels. You know, you got to be labeled something. You go into the school system trying to figure out what that label is. You know, you got your honors kids, you got your, I don't know what they call them out here. You got your LD kids, you got your kids with the learning disabilities, you got your problem kids, and you got to be labeled something, right? Because that's how the system knows how to take care of you or what to do with you because of that label. And that's what I can't stand because, and it's especially in the classroom, it's like, you know, they got this grading system, right? A to F, you know, A at the top, F at the bottom. You get an A, you're a good kid, you're smart, everything is right with the world. You get an F, you got a problem, you don't know anything, you're not paying attention, whatever it is. It's always a negative connotation, you know, attached to that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that. You know, it's not that black and white, right? You got kids coming to school and, you know, they got their own personal problems, they got their own learning style, and the school system is not set up for everybody to succeed. It's set up for in one way. You know, and if you don't fit in that system, you struggle. You know, it's hard to get there, right? You can have a kid that goes into one class and he gets a D. You can put him in front of a different teacher, same curriculum, same lessons, and he get an A, right? Because it all depends on your learning style, right? I didn't connect with this teacher. Whatever this teacher was trying to tell me, I didn't get it. But with this teacher, I connected with, you know. But and how fair is that, right? So now, but it don't work like that. You know, you got to go through life with whatever grade that this teacher gives you, and now I'm placed into this bucket, right? And the kids that get placed in the buckets of the learning disabilities or the problem kids, or some of the kids that's even relocated into a different school because they a problem. It's hard to get out of that bucket, right? It's easy to if you hear, it's easy to kind of get down here. But once you in that bucket of the problem child, the Fs or whatnot, it's hard to get back up. So now they're going through life thinking that, oh, I'm a failure, I can't do it, I don't get it, I'm dumb, I don't fit in, I'm not as smart as the other kids. They going through life like this, all of their school life like this. And then after they get into school, they going into the workforce like this, you know, and that kind of carries on. So I'm not a fan of all of that. And I'm even getting away from, I don't even know what the original question was.
That's brilliant. But that kind of leads me to now the elder statesman who can be in a role of advising both folks who dictate, determine, and create the curriculum, and the young cats that have to navigate that system. You're in a position, two different questions. Well, let me ask you a question. What do you advise those folks who are designing that curriculum? They say, fine, help us figure out a class that you would like to teach.
Right.
What does that look like for young black men? Specifically.
A class that I would like to teach, it would have nothing to do. This is how I'm gonna answer that question. It would have nothing to do with sort of concrete data or facts. Nothing about chemistry. Nothing about math. Probably a little bit history, but it's all about. Really, it's about self-confidence and respect, and really trying to find. The best way I can put it is really kind of find yourself, and the reason why I say this is because school can be trying to get if you're a kid trying to fight for an A, right? That can be it can be simple, right? You go, you study, you ask questions, you get extra help, all those things. But trying to navigate through the other things like the social aspect of it is difficult. You know, you got kids coming from all areas of the city, all different backgrounds, economic status, and you trying to navigate your way through a pool of people that you call your friends or your associates. You're trying to navigate yourself through a system that may not even be designed for you. So what I would talk about, and really to black kids, and something that I have a lot of passion about is. So I grew up in Milwaukee. I'm not from the Minneapolis area. I grew up in Milwaukee, the inner city, and I went to school in the suburbs. So my school was always predominantly white, right? It took us about an hour, a little over an hour to get to school, right? So we had a bus pick up all the kids in the inner city and take us out to the school, and it was just a handful of us, maybe 15, 20 of us, in a school of like 800. And I felt like I didn't have an identity, because I didn't even realize that my family, and we kind of was a big family, and we were almost back to back. So I got a twin brother. I've got a brother that's 1 year older than me, who's a grade up over me, and I got a sister who was a grade up over him. So we were kind of back to back. So people knew us when we came to school because we got this line of Mayfields that's coming in. So we were well known. We were always popular. But me, I had an identity issue because I'm around a bunch of kids now that don't look anything like me, and that's in a completely different economic situation than I was. And I didn't understand that, especially in grade school. I didn't understand that, but I didn't have nobody there that can kind of talk me through it. Like, why are these kids different than me? Why are they in this different position that I'm in? And it was tough for me because I always felt like I had to prove that I can be here. Like I fit in here, and I didn't have enough strength in myself. I didn't have enough pride in myself and who I was and what my situation was, what my economic status. I didn't have enough pride in myself to say I don't care what y'all think, or I don't care what y'all are saying. This is me. I created a mask for myself. You know, I put it on this persona that everything was all good. I'm living like y'all are living. And I put that on. So I was always, we had these things in like elementary school and grade school. I remember that even like in Christmas we used to do these things. We had to pay for all this different stuff, that just little stuff, candy and all these things we had to pay for. We could never get none of that stuff. We ain't had no money, right? We during recess to go outside to play when it was snowing, we always had to have snow boots and a snowsuit. We couldn't go outside because we couldn't afford the snow boots and the snowsuit. So it was a couple of us black kids that stayed inside while everybody else was outside. So that really got me answering the question, like, why is my situation different than theirs, right? And that's where I really started to learn, like, oh yeah, we broke. It's different. It's different when you in the city, and everybody in that same situation. We all in the same situation. We all struggling. We all, but we happy though. We good because we didn't see none of that stuff, so we just like, we don't want it. We don't need it. We ain't used to that. But when I started going to school, especially in high school, it even got tougher. Kids getting cars, on their 16th birthday, and even we going to my friend's house out in the suburbs, and their houses is huge, and I'm there, and I'm like, man, our house don't look like this, and even the family structure was different, So I really start asking questions like, why is our situation so different? But I didn't have nobody there, and some kids don't need that, right? Some kids just got that. They just got that. And my brother had that. My brother, this is me. I'm strong. I got confidence in myself. This is me. I'm a black man. I wasn't that. I had this mask on to say, man, I'm good enough to be around y'all. But then when situations came up, like as a kid in elementary school, like the first time you hear the word nigger, what do? I know what they tell me to do. Okay, I'm gonna put my hands on this dude and it's gonna be over. And that's how I handled it in the beginning. But it wasn't making me feel no better. And then when somebody says it that you don't know, it's easy. Put my hands on you, and it's whatever. But then what if one of your friends say it? I don't want to fight this dude, And I know he's not saying it, and I've been in that situation. One of my friends was saying it. We was at a lunch table, and my friend kept saying it. And I called him my friend, and I'm not even mad at him today. And I'm like, man, this is a dude that I like. I don't want to fight this dude. What do I do? And it's like I didn't have anybody there to kind of talk me through that. Like, how do I handle these situations? So if I was to create a class today, it would be to talk about that stuff, right? This is how and you got to if I had somebody to say, man, this is you. You're a black man. These are the situations you're gonna deal with, right? This is ways that you can handle it. This is how this is how you navigate through it. And I even mentor a couple guys now. I tell them now, man, you just got to learn how things work. You got to learn how it works. Because that's the whole thing about the public school system. Like I'm gonna send my kids to the public school so they can learn how it works. But I'm gonna be there to walk them through those different scenarios, situations. I got a daughter now, 6 years old, and she's biracial. She's gonna have a whole different experience than what I had, right? Just from being biracial. Now I'm not biracial. I don't know how to handle that, but I can be there to kind of help her talk through that stuff, right? Because you're gonna come against some stuff.
See, that's what I feel like. As bad as it is, it's bad that because we are conscious of a lot of what's kind of going on in the world, and we're trying to talk through it, if you will. Even this conversation is about just that.